postcard from Cebu. I love you.
Satellite internet in the Philippines. Why doesn't everybody have one? I don't think I've ever mentioned this in any of the previous videos. You guys know I'm an engineer. Back in the day, I did work for both NASA at one time and an outfit called ComSat, both who have facilities here in Maryland. So I do know a little bit about this, and I'll kind of give you an overview of what the satellite internet thing is about, and mention a few companies, and then give you an idea of what it would cost to get set up in such a system. In today's world, there are three. Well, yeah, there are three that I can think of off the top of my head. Companies that do this. One comes from my maritime background. Is called Inmarsat. Inmarsat originally was an international proposal, like a standards body group, if you will, to make sure that, and Inmar, in international, Mar for maritime, and then Sat for satellite, Inmarsat. And Inmarsat primarily focused on merchant and naval traffic, and being able to communicate with them. It used to be primarily by fax. For instance, when a captain gets a weather fax, a weather map fax to him, it usually comes on Inmarsat. Inmarsat got spun off into a corporation that manages satellites and pays for them and stuff. It's a British corporation, Inmarsat, and I believe they're traded on the London Stock Exchange now. Anyway, Inmarsat has a system they call BGAN, B-G-A-N, which is the Broadband Global Area Network. They have 4 satellites now. It used to just be 3. Now they have 4 that are in geosynchronous orbit, which means that the satellite stays in the same relative spot relative to the Earth's surface as the Earth rotates around. And there's one close to New Guinea, I think, that is accessible. Inmarsat maintains those, and they maintain this global area network. It's a good system for somebody that's traveling a lot. Very pricey though, very expensive. There's another company called Tycom that also has four birds up there that are in that region. They're either at 120 or 78 degrees longitude, and also geosynchronous stationary satellites, if you will. And they seem to be able to, and they seem to focus on the Asian market. So Tycom is a Thailand company. I guess they're traded on the Taiwanese, or not Taiwan, Thailand, on the Thailand stock market probably. And third company is TS2, which is a Polish company. I don't think they actually manage any satellites. I think they just kind of aggregate the bandwidth from other companies and then resell it. So those are the 3 big players. One of the technology employed by both Inmarsat and Tycom is to use what they call spot beam technology, which is basically to use a high gain antenna and kind of focus on a certain spot in the world. I'll give you an idea. I was checking out Tycom. This is Tycom. This is the Philippines, and they have a broad beam that covers the entire Philippines area. Notice this is Palawan out here on the side, and they can't really get into it, but they can still get satellite. It just won't be as focused. And then within that are 3 circled areas. This one here has Cebu, where Vivian is living, and this one Luzon and the National Capital Area and all that kind of stuff. So there are 3 spot beams here from Tycom that are pointed directly down at the Philippines. So there is good coverage there, and you can set that up. Inmarsat, and there's a company called Ground Control, based out of LA, but they have a place here in Maryland now as well, that sell the broadband global area network stuff from Inmarsat. They'll sell you a package to, kind of like the monthly fee that I pay. I use coaxial broadband here at the house. They will sell you a package, and they have some really cool gear. Vegan, actually, you can use a really small portable antenna now. It doesn't have to be like a big fixed, although they do make a 1.2 meter diameter antenna that's a little more fixed. They make mobile systems and all kinds of cool stuff. Check them out on groundcontrol.com, groundcontrol.com/Bgan, BGAN. And you can check all this stuff out on the web. They make some really cool systems. They're very pricey, very pricey. They make mobile mounted systems that you can mount on the top of a vehicle and drive around. Things like that. Also a laptop type of small antenna that can be positioned. You can set up portably. And like I said, Inmarsat's probably better for somebody that's going to move around the world a lot. I think Tycom would be a better choice if you're just staying in the Philippines. Tycom is sold in the Philippines under the WIT, which stands for We Are IT Philippines. So if you're in the Philippines and you're looking to get into this satellite internet thing, We Are IT are the people you want to talk to. They're still kind of pricey, so you're looking at, serious money. Somebody asked the question in the comments of the last video I did about internet in the Philippines, of noticing that there aren't that many satellite dishes and you don't really see them in the videos and footage and stuff that you watch on YouTube. And that's because the stuff is very pricey, and the Philippines is a fairly poor country still. So a lot of people simply cannot afford to install a ground system to be able to access. That portable system that I was talking about, the ground control cells, is about $2,000, and that doesn't count everything else that you'll need. Also, the speeds aren't that great right now. I mean, I did a speed test from my office. I had 162 megabits per second download and 46 megabits per second upload. Here at my house over Wi-Fi, I get 16.7 megabits per second download and 2.14 megabits per second upload. Now that's megabits per second. These satellite internet service providers only tell you you're going to get about 492 kilobits per second. That's only half a megabit upload or download, and then upload significantly slower at about 256 kilobits. So it's very, very expensive and very, very slow, and really I think that eventually it's going to come down in price, and it's going to come around just like any technology. Probably part of the reluctance is it costs so much to launch a spacecraft and put it in orbit and then maintain it after that with all the ground control stations and everything else. So the other guy we talked about, which is TS2, Polish company, and that's Tango, Sierra, and then the numeral 2. They got a plan that's a 512 kilobits per second for $49 a month, but that's just the service fee. That's just the monthly service fee. You still have to put in all the equipment, and still it's fairly slow. So if you can get 2 or 3 megabits from your telecom provider by pointing an antenna at a cell tower and using a little wireless router, it's still a lot cheaper, and you're going to get better speeds by doing that than to go with the satellite technology. I think that eventually the satellite technology will come down in price, but it's still very, very expensive right now, guys. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Hope that helps clear some things up for you. Up here, subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join us. Also, feel free and ask any questions you want in the comments. I will I usually return all the comments anyway, but if you have a good idea for a video, let me know and I'll make that video. As long as it's appropriate, guys. Keep it good. You guys have been really good, so keep it appropriate. Thanks for watching.